Hello designers, and welcome back to another Affinity Designer tutorial. Today we'll be looking at the alignment tools, and you will learn how to align and distribute shapes within your design. This is the set of tools we're going to be using today, the alignment tools. If you look, I've recreated them in Affinity Designer. The first one reflects the alignment icon at the top here. If you hover over it, it says alignment. If I click on it, we're given the options align horizontally, align vertically. To kick things off, I'm going to start by adding some rulers to my document. Now the shortcut for that would be Command and R if you're on a Mac. You can see it's highlighted there. Let me take it away, Command R to take it away. Otherwise you can head up to View and Show Rulers and click on it and they've appeared. The next thing I want to do is add some guidelines, ensuring I'm on the Move tool, which is the arrow, which is over here. Shortcut is V. I'm going to click and drag from the ruler. I'm going to drag it down, keeping my finger on it all the way down, and it's gone red. That means it's in the center. I'm going to let go. I'm going to drag one from the vertical and across, and it's gone green, which means it's in the middle. The next thing I'm going to do is head on up to Document Setup and click on that. If you're following along with me, here's my dimensions. I'm going to head to margins, and I want to create some margins. So I'm going to add 30 pixels. I'm going to press return, and I'm going to press OK. Now that's added some margins here for us. Let's create some shapes so we can use the alignment tools. I've already created some vertical rectangles, and I've numbered them 1 to 4. You'll see why later. Over here on the left, the rectangle tool, select that and you can draw out your own shapes to follow along with me. Okay, select the Move tool. The shortcut is V for victory, or it's up here on the left. All of our shapes have been selected now, and you can see they're a bit all over the place. Let's head on up to the toolbar and the alignment icon. Click on that. You can see align horizontally and align vertically. We're working with vertical shapes at the moment, so I'm going to choose this one. So the first one, align top. Now, if I click it, you'll see they've all aligned to the top, but not the top of the page. If I uncheck this button, the align top button, and head out, you can see our selection bounds are, for all the shapes, are going around like this. So when we select the align top, it will align to the top of those selection bounds. Now that we've clicked on it, you can see align to selection bounds was selected. Click on that and you can see we have more options. The next one is spread. That's your document. So if we click on it, you can see it's aligned to the top of the document now. Let's try out the others. Margin. This is why I created the margin. So we'll click on that. You can now see it's aligned to the top of the margin we created earlier. Okay, this bit I'll come back to. But first, I will undo what I've already done. Let's select the first rectangle. Over here in the layers panel, you'll see it selected. And keeping a finger on Command, let's select 2, 3, and 4. So first one, number 1 was the first one we selected, and number 4 was the last one we selected. Going up to the alignment tools again, click on that, and let's click Align Top. We'll head to Align To, and we'll go to First Selected. So remember the first one we selected was number 1, and remember its position. So it's aligned to where our first vertical rectangle was, and aligned to last selected. Remember number 4 was the last to be selected, so it should technically align to the top of number 4 where it was originally. And there we go, it has. If you want to get out of this mode, you can simply click the button again and it returns to normal. Moving over to the next tool, Align Middle. If selected, it will align to the selection bounds. If I click on and off, you can see it's aligning to the middle of the selection bound, this section here. And again, you have spread, margin, first and last selected. Moving over, Align Bottom. You can see that has worked. And you can see the margin just underneath here. So if we wanted it to go to the margin, we would select margin, and there it is right up against it. The last icon is space vertically. I'm not going to select that right now because I think it would be more important to use align horizontally up here, and the last one space horizontally. So you can see the spaces in between are kind of random, and I want to even the space so it's exactly the same in between. So space horizontally, click on that, and you can now see the space is equal between the rectangles. Also notice that now that we've selected the space horizontally icon or tool, you can see auto distribute has a tick on it. Let's untick that. Let's uncheck it. Now they're all right up against each other. There's a little drop down arrow here, so let's click on that and play around. So if we drag to the right, gives them equal distance between each of the rectangles. It gets further away from each other, and left closer together. So I've been showing you using these tools one by one, but you can also use them together. So space horizontally has been selected, and let's add align middle at the same time. You can see they're both selected and they're evenly distributed, and it's been aligned to the selection bounds in the middle. Let me uncheck both of them. And now I want to show you another example, but with horizontal rectangles. This time let's work with some horizontal rectangles. And I'm going to go over here to the layers panel. I'm going to select the first, keep my finger on shift and select number 4. And this selects everything in between. They're all now selected. But before we use the alignment tool, let's look at these guides I created earlier. Here's the vertical and here is the horizontal. If you have a group of shapes and you want to center them, you can select them all in the layers panel, and you can simply click and drag the shapes around. So let's go for the vertical one first. So if I drag it across, you can see the vertical line has turned green, which means they're now vertically centered. And if I click and drag up, you'll now see a red line going horizontally. Now our shapes are centered vertically and horizontally. Okay, head on up to the alignment tool and click on that. Now align horizontally, you can see the bars in the icons. I kind of like the shapes I've created earlier. So let's test out the first one. Align left. Align to selection bounds is selected, so it's aligned to the left of the selection bounds. And again, you can cycle through them, spread, margin, first and last selected. Let's move on over to the next tool. Align center. Click on that, and you can see they're all nicely lined up in a row. Moving over again, align right. They're aligned to the selection bounds on the right. Uncheck that. And if I head down here, space vertically, that's what I want to do, because you can see the space between each shape is not equal. So I will select this. Now there is equal space between them. And let's go ahead and tidy it up a little bit. So I'm going to head up here and select align center. And I'm going to bring them closer together. So I'm going to head on over to the space vertically, and remember, if we uncheck auto distribute, we can play around with the amount of pixels in between them. So that looks better. And I will press apply, and all of them are still selected. And you can move them anywhere on your document if you're designing something. Just makes life a lot easier. Let's try the alignment tool out on something else. Head on over to the tools panel and click on the triangle tool. Click and hold on that. And let's go down to the tier tool. I'm going to create a tier. I'm going to make it rain. So I've drawn my first one. It's blue already, that's lucky. And I'm going to select the move tool. So I'll press V, which is the shortcut. And I'm going to hold down Command, and I'm going to click and drag to create a duplicate. So I'm going to keep doing that across the page. Okay, I think that's enough. Head on over to the Layers panel and select all of them. Head up to the alignment, and I'm going to align horizontally first. I'm going to uncheck auto distribute. I'm going to choose how much space we want between them. So let's just make it around there. And I'm going to head over to space vertically. And now that looks a bit too uniform, so it's good to just play around with these settings until you're happy with what you see. So I'm going to uncheck auto distribute for that one, and you can see it's gone off the page somewhere. And there we go, it's raining. And I'll just keep playing around until I'm happy. And apply, and it's done. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you found this tutorial useful. If you did, hit like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. See you on the next one.